First things first, there are 4 active cases of coronavirus in Victoria. That's no new cases overnight. There are 2 Victorians in hospital and neither of those are on a ventilator or in intensive care indeed. A total of 3,322,302 test results have been received since the beginning of the pandemic. That's 12,955 since yesterday. We thank each of those nearly 13,000 Victorians for getting tested, and we urge all Victorians, no matter where you live or your circumstances, if you've got any symptoms whatsoever, please come forward and get tested and do it quickly. That's how we continue to keep these numbers very low and, of course, remain open. There are no active cases in healthcare workers or in aged care. The rolling average to 9 November is 0.4 for Metro Melbourne and, of course, 0 for regional Victoria because there are no active cases in regional Victoria. There is now just 1 mystery case for the 14 days 25 October to 7 November. All in all, they are very, very impressive numbers, and they speak to the absolute determination of the Victorian community to stay safe and stay open, for every single Victorian to play their part in keeping these numbers low, and testing as soon as you register symptoms is arguably the most important part of that. This has not gone. Even 11 days of 0 is not the same as a vaccine, although some of the announcements today about different vaccines are very, very promising. We all want to see that vaccine arrive as soon as possible, but it's got to go through a rigorous process to make sure that it's safe, make sure that the efficacy of that vaccine is well and truly proven, so that we know exactly the impact that it will have across the Victorian community. I'll leave it to the federal government to provide further updates around those matters. I'm joined by Ingrid and James today to make some very important announcements to support working families, and particularly mums, who I think have done it very hard this year, whether it be homeschooling or many of the other pressures in terms of the care responsibilities that not exclusively but all too often fall to mums to carry out. We understand that many families are doing it tough, and if we can deal with some of the fixed costs of their participation in the workforce, some of the fixed costs of them going and earning in order to provide for their family, that can be a real boost to household budgets. It's also about making sure that women in the main can work the hours they want to work, can be as active in the labour market as possible. All of this is not about jobs for their own sake. It's about employment so that families can provide for the people they love the most, so that families can have certainty, security and a sense of safety for the weeks, for the months, for the years to come. That's what economic development, that's what employment, that's what a strong economy is all about. Giving families the strength and the purpose and the sense of security that they are fundamentally entitled to. To that end, I'm very pleased to announce that we will make Kinder free next year to support working families, and we'll also expand the number of schools, getting right up to almost 100% of primary schools across the state that'll have before and after school programs. This is all about household budgets and supporting families with more money in their pocket instead of having to pay for things that are critically important. Those things become free. But also there are many schools that don't run before and after school care, and we think that this is just a logical next step to take to support mums and dads and our smallest Victorians, but most particularly to support women who have been very hard hit by the pandemic this year. We'll have many other announcements to make toward that issue and that challenge, but today's all about free Kinder and a massive expansion of before and after school care, so that 95% of our primary schools across the state will run those before and after school care programs. It's all about supporting families, not for its own sake, and it's not just about employment for its own sake. This is not about statistics. It's about supporting families to have that sense of confidence that they can provide for those they love the most this week, next month, next year. That's been really impacted this year in a 1 in 100 year event. There's a big repair job to be done there, and I think we all as a community, we're equal to that task.